Hi, my name is Mindy Coretz. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm 22 years old and I'm a junior in college. Welcome to Finley's Ridge South. This is where I'm based with my horses for the winter. I train with Val Renahan and her assistant Carrie Campson. And this is our awesome spot. Yeah, I call this the Mindy Mobile. It is my very reliable wheels to get from here to the horse show and back again. I've had some really memorable moments with it. I've tipped it a few times. When I got it, I thought I was getting a normal sized one like everyone else has. And it wasn't until the first horse show that I got to that I looked at the back and saw that the weight limit was 86 pounds. And I'm not 86 pounds by any means, so it's held up pretty well for me, but I'm not so sure how much longer it's going to go for. So we're outside the main barn right now, and this is our horse treadmill, Horse Gym USA. All the horses use it pretty much daily as part of their fitness regimen. So important in these athletes that they stay fit so that there's a smaller chance of injury and that kind of thing. The horses get turned out every day. They get hacked when they're not competing or jumping. They don't jump very often, aside from showing. We keep it pretty light and focus more on hacking and the treadmill, things just to keep them fit and ready. So I actually initially injured, it was an ankle injury. I came off my junior hunter in 2006, and it was a no big deal fall. I took a little tumble, but as my horse trotted off, he stepped on my ankle and crushed it. So I've had a lot of operations along the way to sort of there was some reconstructive stuff at first. And it's put back together very well, but the joint does not work very well. I think at best I have the ankle of like a 70-year-old. So it's very arthritic, and I definitely have a hard time with it. So that being said, I had an experimental operation a couple years ago that's helped me tremendously. I've done really well, but some issues came up a couple months ago. And just a few weeks ago, I had an operation done to sort of clean out the joint. There were some bone spurs and fragments and things that they just wanted to clean out to help me out a little bit. So it's feeling pretty good. It's nice and tight in my riding boot. It's still pretty swollen, but I'm getting by. I first got on a horse 2 days after surgery without stirrups in my cast. And then I've slowly built up to riding more normal. Right now, I would say the functionality of my ankle is probably at like 60 to 75%, but I feel ready to hit the show ring and all that. I showed a couple of my horses last week, so I could sort of get my feet wet. I get really nervous when I haven't shown in a while, and last week was still pre-circuit, so it seemed like a good time to get back in the ring, a little bit lower stress than this week will be, and it went well for me, so ready to go. So this is Dan. He shows as EAF Grey Goose, and I've had Dan like a year and a half now. He was imported originally as a jumper and showed in the States largely as a jumper, and has only recently begun his career as a hunter. So I went 3-3 amateur owner hunter with him last year. Come here, Dan. Come here.
I came and there's nothing.
Come here. Oh.
Yeah,
exactly. Bribery is good. I believe in it. And he was also a stallion until just about a month before I bought him. So he can still have some of those Studley type quirks to him. But I really like him. He's got a lot of character. He's been a lot of fun. And he's been a project in a different way than, say, a particularly young horse, because he wasn't necessarily young, he was just new to the hunter ring, so it was redirecting what he already knew to turn him into a hunter. I think that the biggest thing for us was, it was sort of the little things. He could canter around and jump 8 jumps, outside diagonal, outside, but when I saw sort of a nice hunter gap to a distance, he was trained to get up to the base of it and get across it, whereas what I wanted him to do was just take a breath and leave from the gap, and that kind of thing. So that was what took the longest, but once it clicked, it really stuck with him. So I would love to do jumpers. I actually had the opportunity to show a jumper this summer, and I had so much fun. So certainly in my future, I definitely see jumpers on the list of to-dos, but right now I don't have any. So I am extremely cautious with how much my horses do. So a hunter division here, he's jumping 4 classes a week, and I wouldn't particularly want to do more than that with him. And I think it can be a little bit confusing for a horse because you do ask different things of them and the huntering versus the jumpering. So I'm perfectly happy doing the hunters. So. Oh, here, eat a treat, not your stall, silly. He's kind of a ham. Okay, so this is Wyatt, and he shows as EAF Java Chip. I can't take full credit for ownership of this one because he's really my sister's. She also rides and has horses of her own, but this one got to come to Florida with me. He's coming 8 years old, and I showed him, come here buddy, I showed him last weekend in the adult amateurs. He won his classic and ended up champion, so we're so happy with him, and he is going to step up this weekend and do the 3-3 AOs, and we'll go from there. He's really a sweetheart. We haven't had him very long, but we've really enjoyed him. He sort of steps up to the plate no matter what challenges you present to him, so he's a lot of fun. Hi! So hi sweetheart, this is the dog from the woman that owns the barn. Has some horses here that are not associated with Finley's Ridge, and this is one of her little critters who's such a sweetheart and is really unhappy that we're not paying her enough attention. So Greta, this is Greta, EAF Greta, and I don't pick favorites, but I've had Greta the longest. I know Greta the best, and she's really special to me. Really special to me. So she's not necessarily the scopiest horse in the world, but she's really special to me. I've had her for a little over 3 years now, and she's just awesome. She's really a cool horse. So she did the 3-3 amateur owners last year, and it was my first time competing at WEF, and I was such a nervous mess, and she really came through for me and was really there for me, and we had some good results. She took me to my first time at Devon, and so it's just been a really great year, and I credit a lot of it to her. And I'm really fortunate. My parents are unbelievably supportive of this crazy sport. And so basically I own my horses through an LLC. It's called 18 Acres Farm. And the goal of 18 Acres Farm is to buy horses, give them some mileage, and then resell. So that's sort of my way of making this a little bit more sustainable. My parents are incredible and they support this, and it's awesome, but it's like, okay, maybe there's a way to do it where we're not buying horses and then ending up retiring every single one. So I have lots of retirees and they're awesome, and hopefully some of these newer, younger ones I'll get to see go on and thrive under new ownership and new training and that kind of thing. There's no horse history in my background. Nobody's really sure how I got the bug, but I begged my parents for riding lessons, and it was by nothing short of luck that I ended up taking my first riding lesson with the trainer I still ride with to this day back home. Her name is Libby Barrow, and she's amazing. So when I am not here, I'm at home going to school, but also I have horses back home. My sister has horses back home, so I ride while I'm home. And when I take weeks off here this year, I'll be most of those weeks with my sister at shows she's going to. She'll be competing largely in Texas, so I'm going to stay pretty busy. Man, that's the commute is the worst part of it. Coming from Oklahoma, it's kind of a hike to get here, and there's not a great way to do it. I always have to make at least one stop, one plane switch, sometimes more than that to get here. So it's really a puzzle, and typically I don't end up getting in. I'll go to class like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, catch a flight out Thursday evening, and usually I get in here somewhere between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. Last year was like my average. So, and then Friday morning I'm lessoning at 7 a.m. oftentimes. So it gets a little bit crazy, and for me the travel can be really stressful. Going home maybe even more so than coming here because I so fret about missing school. Last year it pretty much worked out for me, so hopefully this year we won't have any big disasters. You know, I love horses and I love riding, but my education is really, really important to me, and it's really important to my family. I can't see myself just doing this and missing school for it. I enjoy school. I probably enjoy this more. I definitely enjoy this more, but I don't regret doing it the way that I do it. No, you know, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. In high school, I didn't really compete the way that I do now, and I think in high school, I can see myself having come and spent time down here. They have these great trailers where you go, and they tutor you, and they communicate with your school back home. But as a college student, I can't see myself taking a semester off to do it. The first thing is that you have to be sure that you and your horses are with a barn that you trust, because for me, I'm always going to stress a little bit about riding and the horses and what's happening, but it takes so much of that away just knowing, why am I stressing? They're in a good place. Things are going well. So it gives me that during the week, like, okay, I really don't need to be worried about that. I can focus on what I need to be focused on at home. This is my time to focus on this. I'll worry about the horses when I get there. And then the other thing is, you know what? It's another horse show. It's another day jumping a horse over sticks in dirt. And sometimes it's going to go your way, sometimes it's not. And there's so much, you know, WEF has such a steam in the name and all that. It's another horse show. It's another experience. Any experience you can get, whether it's at the Winter Equestrian Festival or if it's at a local show that's near to you, it's just so good to get in the ring. It's so good to be in the environment. It's so good to get the mileage.